If I had the money, I would absolutely buy an expensive watch, but I don't. The next option would be to finance an expensive watch. Great, but it's still an expensive watch with the same pitfalls. I could scratch it, I could damage it, it could get stolen. So what do you do then? You wear it only to special occasions. If something costs a multitude of thousands of pounds, euros or dollars, you shouldn't have to limit its use, in my opinion. What I like about these companies is they try to create watches that are affordable for regular everyday folk, and I really like them. They're all very weird or very unusual, or in the case of this sea stern, very much like a Nomos. So this is yet another such example, the Sugess ST1907. It's a chronograph that comes in a multitude of colours, including black, white, pink, green, which you can see here, and blue. One of the main reasons I decided to buy this watch in particular was the included power reserve. It's pretty simple, so you turn the dial and you'll see the needle move up through the three sections, red, green and black. Once you get to the very top of the black section, one thing to mention, you'll feel a lot of resistance. Stop turning at that point, because if you do continue, you can actually damage the watch. That's just something to keep in mind. I do actually own a couple of other watches from this range, the Sea Stern ST1701 and the Sugess Pilot watch. If you'd like to see a review on any of these, please let me know and I'll happily oblige. The case is identical for pretty much all their watches, or at least all the ones I've owned. It's just this pretty generic black plastic thing with tabs that were conceived by the devil. They're sharp, they're horrible, and I hate them. On the plus side though, it does come with a chain link removal tool along with a screwdriver, which is, I guess, kind of nice to have, especially if you don't have those things. I've never really been a huge fan of bracelet style watches. As you can see, I'm a hairy guy and it tugs on them almost always and it's painful and irritating. However, removing the links was fine. It was a really simple process and I was able to get broadly the size that kind of matches myself. I would have liked to have seen some of those sort of micro adjustment settings that you have in some of these bracelet style watches, but it's perfectly adequate. It's absolutely fine. And obviously, if it's bothering anyone in particular too much, I can't see it being too difficult to just swap it out for either a strap or a different bracelet. And it's pretty generic, so I'm fairly sure most things would go with it. The actual chronograph settings on this watch are managed by a lock ring style button, which I've never actually seen before. Basically, you undo it counterclockwise in order to make the button work, and tighten it up clockwise in order to stop it working. As you can see here, the top button actually starts the power, and the bottom button resets everything. It's fairly easy. It's something that's cool to have. Personally, it's a bit irrelevant for me because I only tend to wear it in sort of, I suppose, dressy settings or perhaps work. It's not something I'm going to accidentally press, but it's a cool thing to have. I'm not saying I don't want it. It's just not really useful to me. At the time of this recording, it's currently £218 or 283 US dollars. One thing I will say is the price does seem to be trending upwards at the moment, presumably due to all of this tariff uncertainty, so feel free to take a look in the video description in order to get the most up-to-date price. If you do have any questions or comments, feel free to let me know and I'll happily answer them. Otherwise, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this little video. I really do appreciate it, and goodbye.